Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Spa. Welcome to the early access version of LMU esports. Because as soon as there is some prize pool, it can be called esports, right? And it's not just a random selected prize, hardware prize like it was last time at Interlagos, but there is actually a couple of euros on the line here, even though it's not, well, it's not the 200k of Le Mans Virtual Series, but it's the most important thing here. It's gonna be great racing. Hi Pirate, hi Ayus, Mario, Mirko, Mlondi.
Track temp is higher this time.
26, yeah, I see. Well, I guess soft still.
If you want to get 2 shots, soft now. Unless you off-track your first attempt and then you need to pit again, then I would probably go mediums 2 shots.
Yeah, let's see. Well, good luck.
Good luck.
So, yeah, a very exciting times. I'm well, quite excited for this. Slightly nervous. So this is multiclass. So we had now GT3 quali, and now we will have the hypercar quali. And the rule book is that we can start driving when it goes 11 minutes to go, and we can go out of pits when it's 10 minutes to go. So we are parking behind our old teammate David. And of course engine is not running because LMDH, it's just on the electric motor. Thought for a moment something is wrong with my sound settings. My steering lock, to be honest, I don't know. Might be 500, might be the default of the BMW. In the setup I think it's on the default. I don't even know. Should be fine. Thank you for the good lucks. As we are ready to start the quali session. Cold tires, of course. David already weaving. So Eau Rouge is not easy flat on cold tires. Well, on softs it kind of is, but yeah. But we will see. Yeah, the rules is, I think it's 25-minute quali, and then GT3s can start immediately, and then finish the laps by 15 to go, or like, yeah, then... Or I think it's a bit less than that, not fully sure. First round. The rule book is still fresh. Yeah, Mlondi, about being aggressive in LMU, it's a tricky thing. Because you can easily overload the tires and then lock up or lose the rears or lose the fronts and just, yeah, have massive overheating or massive slip. It's well, I don't even know what to say. It's yeah, you need to get to have the feeling, but it's a lot different from car to car. For example, this BMW LMDH is loving to lock up inside front into medium speed corners, low speed as well. And you really need to be gentle with the brake. Either way, quali begins now. The forecasted pole position is high 58s, I think. And then let's see how much people have actually practiced. With with Michi we are the only BMWs. We did some practice together, but well, today for 2 hours maybe. Hopefully the old setup works. The tires are not quite responding yet. But I have fuel for 2 more laps. So I'll take this as a banker and then have the next one as the main. And I need to be careful not to overheat the softs now even. $158 on a controller, difficult. But I mean, I don't know, I don't have experience on controller. Hi Vojta. But maybe in perfect conditions for quali on controller it should be maybe possible. But we start with, well, a very slow lap time. David with 59.1. I did that in practice. But it was slightly colder. My apex. Now the issue is this is my last lap, because by the rules we cannot escape.
I didn't expect the soft to do 2 laps, but it does.
Yeah, I kind of thought there is more lap time, so or more time in the session, so now I'm actually on camel on my last attempt, so...
Yeah.
The soft is slowly disintegrating. Alright. Into the pole position. Oof, okay. Now I don't know about the rulebook. I think I would... I can slowly creep or like crawl back into the pit lane, I think. Or I can escape, but then if I escape... Well, I mean, it I guess doesn't make any difference. In real life they would go 50 kph on the battery back to the pit lane. Oof. Well, third lap on softs. Softs are not that bad, seems like. 26 Celsius. But I for sure felt that they are melting.
Nice
melting
lap.
a lot. Thank you. I did not expect that, to be honest. Waiting for others to still improve now in the last run. And they have every chance to do so. Yeah, the last corner, the last chicane was a bit on the limit, but I just about stopped. I don't know what's going on with the brake bias. I'm locking front right into so many corners in sector 2. But into the bus stop, it's always the rear axle that just locks. Left and right together. Thank you, Alex and Alaric. That's my first time I take this alternative apex here. Here comes David. He's on his pole position lap, most likely. And I'm out of fuel. Wait, go neutral? I have still 14% of battery. I mean, I should probably escape here. I'm kind of a visual nuisance to people still on laps. But that is kind of annoying. Wait, why can I not move if I still have battery? Like, I should be able to move, but, well... Ah, I had ignition off. So David did not improve. Michi probably still on a lap. He went to 4th. I think that's pole position. White is still on a lap. He disconnected mid-session. He's fast. But yeah, this 13% of battery will not make it to the pit lane anyway.
Nice job.
White still going.
P6.
P6, okay. Well, that's alright. Nice lap from you as well in the end.
Yep, happy with that.
I thought I could do like... yeah, I forgot that I cannot do 2 consecutive laps and then box and then have another go, so I just kept going. Had fuel for 4.
Oh, crazy. That is sick. That is honestly really sick.
You scared me with 58s, and then I thought I have to do 58, right?
I mean, you kinda had to, right?
Yeah.
You know, tough part's still coming with 2 hours 40. What the fuck?
Luckily just 3 out of 8 of this distance. I guess pit stalls are not being shared. Or maybe they randomly are. What a lap cheater. Thank you, Mlondi, thank you. And thank you, FZK.
Best LMH, P11. 6/10 off.
Ooh. Is it that bad for LMH or what?
Yeah.
Really?
I sweated the Ferrari so hard in Spa last time in that online championship, and the best that I could manage was a 59.4, and that felt like a decent lap, and then people were put in 58.8, and I was like, what?
Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's why I could not qualify for this with the Toyota. It was just a second of pace. Okay, well, interesting, yeah. Yeah, I know, Mlondi, I know. So, yeah, no Peugeots. I mean, Peugeot is LMH.
What do you have on engine cooling? You think 50% is fine?
Yeah, 50-50. I never tested, never checked at all.
Oh no.
The track is hot.
40 degrees, yeah.
Why so many Cadillacs? I have same question. I heard that the car is fast. But I
Don't you
don't
ever
know.
want to be safe or not?
I mean, in the end it's one car for the whole season, so you had to take something that will be good throughout.
I got 25, I'm too scared. It's like the temperature peaks at 25 minutes into the stint or so.
I never checked at all.
It's a high speed thing though.
Okay, I go
We
25.
might, yeah. I better be safe than sorry. I don't think it makes a huge difference anyway.
Yeah. Alright. Well.
I didn't know you'd picked the graffiti livery.
I saw you had the clean one, and then I thought, well, why not having two different ones?
Cool.
But here we go. So yeah, Cadillac was very difficult when the game was launched, but then I heard that it was kind of fixed to some extent, and with this more forgiving tire model, which is harder to have a lockup, it becomes quite nice to drive and fast. Well, thank you guys. Out of line. And we are league racing. And we lost the lead already. Ready on lap 1 is tricky. Barely held it on track, but he kept it. Okay, well, I don't know, I was kind of too safe into turn 1. I should have practiced the launch offline before. I didn't know when exactly to brake, but really good move from Fabio around turn 1. And now let's see the BOP. It's the same chassis, right? Caddy and BMW are the same chassis, but different powertrain. And they drive quite differently. How much limits? 5. It's not much, but I don't think it's that easy to get cuts here. Shibam nades, Shibam. And there is chance of rain. But the rulebook was a bit vague about it. Or like the briefing, it said between 0 and 10 or 0 to 11 or 0 to 15 then for the race. Slightly higher number for the race than quali, but I don't know. We will see. I don't know if that graphic properly works. I think it will update at some point. Yeah, I had a bit of issues with some data on this tiny pedal overlay. I think it showed Michi on softs at the start as well. But if people have softs, they have messed up totally, because softs, well, if you don't know, softs in WEC are available only for Spa and Le Mans. And they are used in the night when it gets really cold, or if it's kind of slightly damp. But as soon as there is some warmth, they start melting. So they were just about fine for quali before with 26 track temp, and 26 is relatively cold. Yellow flag for what? Ah, there is a car on the grass. Yeah, the mediums are already in the 80s. I have to pick up the pace a little bit. I really like how this car handles, to be
Got
honest.
0.75 for cutting entry Lecombe.
How is it possible to even cut there? It was kind of extended a bit, wasn't it? You can go to grass. Oof, well. Then I stand corrected. It's in fact easy to get cut points here. So yeah, this car is just so nice, just so predictable. You can make it drive on kind of a threshold where you turn in into low or medium or high speed corners, and it's gonna behave the same kind of. The front will bite enough and the rear will just about start dancing a bit but still be stable. It's still a bit tricky on the brakes sometimes. I think if braking zone is straight, it locks the rears, and if it's slightly curved, it really loves to lock the
Can he
fronts.
start and save fuel, or?
He's been saving from the start, I think. Into turn 1 we are still having a
I might
little
get
bit
jumped now.
of a rear slip. Defend.
Crying.
But for example, Porsche in high speed is just so difficult, or maybe I just cannot set it
We'll
up.
be fine.
So with Michi we are the only BMWs, and that's quite surprising to me. It's not a slow car, but it's not often chosen. I think LMH is easier. Because, well, I don't know why exactly. It's something to do with LMH having regen on the front and LMDH having regen on the rear. But LMH is better on brakes. Maybe can be marginally slower on straights. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but like Ferrari and Toyota, even Peugeot are quite good when it comes to downforce, like high-speed corners. Like the Porsche curves at Le Mans. Porsche LMDH ironically struggles a lot. Fabio is losing so much time with these late braking zone mishaps. But that's, well, that's how Caddy drives. Difficult on the brakes. He's sideways again. That's not going too well for him. But you know what? These cars are sideways in real life. Although in the races they are underdriving them a lot to be more efficient. Londi, it's a tiny pedal overlay. This old boy, I don't know, if you have two screens, you can split.
Yeah, I did it again, another 0.5.
Wait, IMSA is 2 hours 40 as well, right?
I think I've been always close to the edge and now just going over.
Maybe it's doing that thing that sometimes when you set a PB it resets the threshold.
Yeah.
Battery filling up. But we're in the tow. Pace seems fine. Wait, I have not recalibrated my motor map on my dash. 30 is just about too much, 20 just about too little, it should be 25. Speaking of the kilowatts. The icons for, you mean for the car manufacturers? Think there is some in the settings somewhere. You have like a vehicle brand editor, and then you click like import from LMU API or something like that. But then you have to download the actual icon pack. And there is one nice guy in a release forum of Tiny Pedal Overlay or Tiny Pedal plugin that has actually done the, well, all these icons for RF2 and LMU. But you have to find the post. It's buried around page, I don't know, 20, 25, I don't know, there is many pages in that topic. Maybe you can try the search function. Yeah, you need to find the folder, unzip the icons there and then refresh the stuff 2 or 3 times in Tiny Pedal Overlay. Or like in the settings of the overlay, and then it works. Yeah, it's the tab by default. I think you can assign a button. Well, actually, I think I had focus on the other monitor, so the tab didn't do anything. There we go. Well, first car, already unlucky with traffic.
These overtaking rules are scaring me though.
Did Fabio disappear for you as well for some
Nope.
time?
But I got the same message.
Scary. Why didn't I have something like that last time when we battled with Fabio in the weekly race at Kota? He had one kind of lag a bit. Marcus, it's the dash is done through SimHub on my wheel rim. And I've just, well, I done it manually. Just like an item that gets colored when the tire temp is more than, I don't know, 90, 95-ish. Thank you for the sub, Antunes. I have positioned that notification a bit weirdly, so I cannot see the left part of it too well. Well, nice roadblock. Didn't know if I should go for the BMW as well. Have to wait behind. Yeah, this is not the luckiest traffic ever. He was not impeded through Orouge and I was. Well, I hope that's my batch of traffic bad luck. These hypercars are not that fast. Even though LM GT3s are slower than all other GT3s, it's still not like the speed difference is not that big. I mean, it is big for sure, but it's not as big as like LMP1 versus GTE, I think, potentially. Maybe I'm wrong. Hi Sold. Force feedback, think I now have... I changed the ratio a little bit. I have 65 in true drive and 50 in game. So it's still the same feeling, but I'm just testing one thing. Demian, there is... I don't even know, to be honest. I think I just got sent a link some time ago. But there is an Instagram page, Virtual Motorsport Series, and I think a link is there. To be honest, we got through the traffic kind of well. Michi got messed up a lot more. This car really loves coasting through corners. You kind of need to trail brake still, but it's so hard to be in the threshold because front, inside just keeps locking up like very little, but if you check the temperature data, you see big peaks, and that's obviously not great unless you want to warm up the tire quickly. I think Fabio is lift and coasting quite substantially. This is the weirdest curb in the whole LMU. Spa turn 1. Touch it and you will just lose all rotation. And it's not a curb, it's just the elevation change, or like it's... The track is cambered weirdly and then the curb is kind of cambered upwards and it's just weird. You kind of need to miss the apex for fastest delta. But it's worse with some cars than others. I think Ferrari is very tricky when it comes to that. Some cars can just eat it though. I think Peugeot could actually take it. Yeah, I don't know why nobody took the Peugeot. When I was driving the Peugeot it was really nice. Only issue was that it was kind of maybe accelerating slowly, but top speed was good. The rear a little bit reactive on power. I think Toyota is much worse when it comes to reactive on power on exits. But yeah, it is a bit tricky, right? It kind of... I don't know. You try to put it on power, kind of understeers, at some point it starts oversteering, it's never... If you push it, it's not on the rails. Matteo Blotto left the server. He was the leading Ferrari, I think. Yeah, really good line if you miss the apex, but well, that was probably not the best for the Delta. But well, the TC is important, of course. I have
Guess you
quite
guys
high.
going +2?
I'm not really looking at the fuel at the moment, to be honest, but I'm lifting more than I expected.
Yeah, copy.
I think Fabio is for sure trying to go at least 2 longer. Hi Lorek, hi Kyle and Shiny. I don't think anybody chose the Isota, to be honest. I mean, it's a weird car. Maybe it's not the fastest, maybe it's 2 tenths off. Overall, yeah, nice front right lockup. Just very quickly locks up. It's funny because in the Caddy, when I was driving it half a year ago, we had this tiny lockup, but it never resolved, it just kept locking up all the way till you went into the gravel. But here you have like 3-4 tiny lockups, and they just unlock quickly, but they are still significant enough to properly hit up your tire. So what I cannot do now is let him stay ahead while out fuel saving me. Oh, Michi defended. It would be difficult to save whole pit stop. I think full push is like... wait, it should be overall 79 laps. A full push would make you go to 84. So like after 3 stints of full push you're at 63 and you still need to do... Yeah, it's more than half a stint. I don't think anybody's able to stretch so much. Yeah, I have clutch on. I have double clutch pedals behind the wheel rim, so I just pull the clutch pedal and it engages the clutch. And since there is no clutch wear being implemented, we get away with it. Which you're going +5 laps, right? I will need to properly nail the first corner to be close here. Yeah, the clutch doesn't wear, yeah. The only thing that's tricky is when you release the clutch, you get a lot of engine braking for a split second. So if you're going into a corner or into a curved braking zone, you have great chances of locking up the rear. But you can just blip the throttle and it's fine. Yeah, the setup is beautiful, I think. It's funny how much higher apex speeds I have. Slipstream, here we go. See you later. I feel him so hard. I mean, I don't know what's the correct phrase. I understand his pain, that's what I wanted to say, because I have done that so many times with the caddy when I drove it. You go like, you defend, go on the right side. There is less rubber, and then the caddy does caddy things. Although he just braked too late. Still, you would get away with it with the Toyota or with Ferrari potentially.
And I guess we have straight line speed issue on that caddy.
Not really, to be honest. I mean, he's a bit better there, but he's slow in the corners.
I feel you.
Oh, that's some beautiful traffic. These yellow flags are weird, but what is that thing on the Stavelo exit on the wall? Like there's some yellow, shiny yellow thing on the tire wall. that traffic is not beautiful anymore. Ah, man! I learned that word from Michi. No damage. In iRacing I would be missing whole rear of the car. I have an Instagram reel or like YouTube short pending to be uploaded, but it's a bit cheeky towards iRacing, so I was reluctant to do the shit posting. But I will upload it at some point, as I got one stepped very gently in the rear and the whole bumper and the rear wing flew off in iRacing. Short shifting helps, yes. Well, some cars actually have max power at slightly less RPM, so we actually have to short shift for max power as well. Actually, I think most cars must be upshifted, let's say 200-300 RPM below red line, but I think the Ferrari has it way earlier, maybe even the Peugeot. iRacing subreddit, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, well, I will say that I understand that GT3 that tapped me into the rear as well now, because, well, he broke late. LMGT3 braking zones are shorter than hypercar braking zones, and then when the ABS kicks in GT3, if you panic, you're dead, you just go straight. Because the more you panic, the more you smash the brake. The less you brake, the less you actually make the corner, so I think I crashed off somebody like that in RF2 in that BMW esports competition with the M2 Cup car. It was a wet Nürburgring into turn 1. I had zero clue how to use the ABS. I smashed the ABS. Plowed straight into poor, I think it was even Jack Kitley or somebody from Williams back in the day. Are they actually, I mean, I thought the consensus was, can I go for this? I can. I thought the iRacing consensus was that the 499 is a bit, well, obviously slightly off, but I mean, I can imagine there is a portion of people defending it. Right, my battery is flat. That's not great for the pit stop. Let me recharge. Because in the pit stop with LMDH, if you don't know yet, you can only use the battery, and then if it's flat on your box, you basically DNF. Even though you kind of still, even if you have zero battery, when you brake for the pit limiter you recharge a bit, and then when you brake further to stop in the box, you recharge more. So eventually it should be just enough charge to restart the engine. Never tried though. I think the iRacing, the only argument that is beneficial for the 499 in iRacing, as we get hit by another traffic in Blanchimont, the only argument is that 499 or like the new tire model in iRacing actually feels substantially better than the old one, at least I mean, I only tested the Cadillac, which is on the new tires as well, and that one feels more solid. Less ice skating and more eye gripping. But well, if it's 6, 7, 8 seconds faster than in real life, it's no good. Yeah, Ayus, yeah. mean, it's really good to have gravel on track and so on, if it works properly, but it's a bit weird to have all of that while the car balance and the FFB on most cars is, I don't know how to say, kind of unapproachable or like dead FFB. But yeah, of course, improper hybrid. Even though they had IMSA esports for years now. It's just unforgivable. They just have to implement the proper hybrid.
Got past Mark.
Probably Lambo goes a lap shorter, right?
I assume.
Yeah, Lorek, about the gravel, like I didn't really experience it much, but generally it's a lovely thing to have.
Meanwhile, I'm not sure what to do with these fucking tires.
What should I respond to Michi?
7470 already on the left.
Just drive.
Copy.
That's the default answer. Yeah, one thing missing in LMU is dirty tires and so on. That's very easy to implement, at least like very how to say, very quickly, like it was in ACC. I think ACC was like no ACC, AC1. If you were like, I think it was like every texture or like every surface had a rate, and if you had higher rate, then the longer you drove on it, the less grip you had. Maybe it saturated at some point. And then when you were on road, it slowly unsaturated that dirt on the tire. And that's really good, like you don't need rocket science to implement that. But then again, LMU I think does a good job at making grass and gravel not useful. While back in the RF2 days there were several occasions where you just had on lap by lap basis use a bit of gravel or a bit of grass. But to be honest, it was the same in LMU when it launched. Out of Stavlo here on this track, we were always touching the gravel, but I think they fixed it. Or maybe I fixed my setup so it doesn't understeer on the exit. Ooh, nice rear rotation. Ah, the Delta liked it. Wasn't over rotating, wasn't a real drift, but it was just all the weight on the rear and with neutral steering. And yeah, again, like I said last time, I don't know who are the people that are complaining about LMU FFB dead zone in the middle. If there is a dead zone in LMU, which potentially is sometimes on fresh tires, kind of, then iRacing is 10 times worse. It's always there, like dead zone from like within 45% or like 45 degrees of wheel angle. After that, it's just so non-linear. I cannot understand it. But that's of course coming from RF2 background. The people who have been driving iRacing for a decade, I understand they have a different view. And again, it's impossible to really... Ooh, That's the gravel that I talked about before. Touched it just a little bit. Luckily I corrected the car. FFB told me that I have to correct, so I corrected. Oh, that was scary. Maybe the game was telling me to stop crying about other sims and just focus on LMU for now. For this race at least. Thank you for the sub. I need to focus on getting the mileage here. I can do 4 more, but just about. Need to pull the clutch a little bit. How are my tires? 73. And the tire wear is fine. But we have a plan A and plan B for the strategy. And I'm thinking of both.
Are we fearing the Porsches?
Why?
Just Tom is quicker all the time, I'm just not sure whether he saves or not.
I don't think it's full 90-day cycle, it's just afternoon, or from afternoon to evening. Well, some people could do the short double now and then full to the end.
True.
So yeah, the strategies are either 2 doubles and then a single plus a splash. Or you could try saving 1 tire change and go like 1.8 and another 1.8 of a stint. And have, yeah, 1 tire change instead of 2. And the tire wear doesn't look too bad, so... yeah, low rec, something like that. And I'm considering that because on this build since the middle of December the tire wear has been relatively low. Even though generally 12-second margin that you get from changing tires is easy to overcome. But I'm not setting outright personal bests, so I guess engineers of other drivers are not listening to me. I will assume that, and if I assume that, if I assume that, then I could try going for kind of a no tire change now with less fuel.
Tom is in.
Interesting. And then if the lap times are way too slow, I go to single stints till the end.
I rear-ended Grigoletto in order to dive a GT. much though.
Yeah, the tire wear should be fine. Ah, there we go, track limits. .5 and I lifted quite a bit. That yellow thing there, like, it's bothering me. Ah, I will get the traffic catching the GT freeze, but I will get them before a Rouge. You know what? I box. And see how that goes. Just a place where a new tire barrier starts potentially. I know that there has been some bug sometimes that in the night there was an actual headlights, like a source of light flashing out of there, and that was quite funny. That virtual energy takes quite a long time. Oh. I did. Ah. I messed up. I took full. Ah. I think that's fixable. Yeah, I took. I changed fuel ratio instead of changing the virtual energy. Oops. Well, let's see what happens. Should I lose time with that? Well, hi Mike. Let's see what happens. I mean, I will need... I don't know, I think it's kind of fine. Wanted to take same 0.93 fuel ratio, but 82% virtual energy, but I took 100% virtual energy. Rookie mistake. But I think strategy-wise it doesn't matter. I gained some time by not changing tires, but then I lost time because of adding a lot of virtual energy. But I took less time because I added less fuel. I don't know. Let's see. So 79 total laps. So in worst case, if tire wear is too bad and if I have zero pace, 79, 57, 35. After lap 35 I can box and just do a full service. Yeah, next stop will be shorter, but I might come under pressure now from people who maybe didn't change tires but took a lot less fuel. So Mitch is still going. Yeah, let me put that fuel ratio. Wait. What button? Ah, it was the correct button. Should be lap less, to be honest. We are kind of slow. I calculated with 2 minutes 0-0, but we are doing more towards 0-1. Ah, Michi boxed. Okay. Ah, yeah, of course he boxed. Okay, let me unfreeze my brain. Of course, the gaps to the guys ahead of me are small. I didn't check the gap. I just checked the order. No rain forecasted yet. To be honest, I don't think anybody took tires. David potentially took tires. I don't know.
Did you fuel completely?
Slight mess up. A full virtual energy, but 82 liters of fuel. It shouldn't be too bad.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so let's see how that goes. It's still showing softs there, I don't believe that. Yeah, if Grigoletto took tires, then he must have underfueled. I think they all just took full tank. And that would make me think the general consensus for the strategy is double stint and then 1.7 of a stint with just one tire change. And that means that, what does that mean? I will have slightly faster car now because I have less fuel, but marginally. But now I need to be actually doing mid-01s. Lorek, I'm trying to process that with my brain now, I just cannot. It is kind of concurrent, right? But or is it not? Fuel and virtual energy. Virtual energy always takes longer. Maybe VE is just slower, or maybe it's non-concurrent. Either way, it should not be too bad. Right, so I can never risk a case where I put more fuel than energy, or like if I'm fueling without increasing the virtual energy, I'm just wasting time, right?
Did you have a 40-second pit stop then?
39.
39. So has Grigoletto taken new tires?
I don't think so.
Well, he then must have been very empty.
I think he just did a full fuel stop.
Yeah, just like you. Virtual energy is the decisive factor, sadly. Oh, he has changed two tires.
Ah, that could be the case. Yeah, 5 seconds for 2 tires. But I don't think it really makes much sense. Thinking if I should extend by a lap, because I was kind of 15.7 laps over the finish line, but won't really make a difference. That indecision between second and third gear is kind of big. I would prefer staying in third gear, but then I just about don't get enough engine braking. And then I downshift to second, and then the car is just too wild, too unplanted. It's a bit of a shame, because in real life the engine brake map is important and they use it, but it's not yet available in the UI here. Okay, Lorek, thank you for the calc. I think overall I'm just gonna have longer stint now, and it's not really an issue. You should search Charizarding. Let me tell you, I have been traumatized already. Out of nowhere, that information popped out in an unexpected moment. I think I was just looking at my memes, unsuspecting. It's not the best read of your day. I'd rather speak about the Charizard itself, because I have the shiny version from, like, the card Charizard with 120, nice gravel, 120 hit points. It has 100 attack if you discard 2 fire energy cards. Do I go for it? I don't. I want to survive. That was really unlucky in Blanchimon. I think Kvich is trying to go a lap longer as well, but he has underfueled. I don't know. The 2.3 of his is alright of a lap, but I think I can keep going quicker. Most embarrassing memory, oh no. You think the kind of memories that pop out when you go to sleep and it's midnight or 1 AM and you try to sleep and then you start thinking of the embarrassing memories. I mean, was it embarrassing? Maybe it was like in the elementary school, went to the toilet after what's it called? What's the translation of that? Of telovadba? It's like physical exercise, maybe? Yeah. In the locker rooms, like, or like it's not locker, like the place where you change the clothes and shower, there was toilet, I went into it, I couldn't get out. I locked it, I could not unlock it. And well, I was rotating the locker like on the lock. Couldn't open the door. I was slamming on the door. Didn't know what to do. Well, I don't know if it's embarrassing or just claustrophobic moment, but it certainly is not. It was kind of embarrassing. Luckily, a classmate from outside pulled the door so hard that it actually opened.
There's some fresh tires though.
Fresh tires, what?
David gaining a second lap on me.
I see, potentially. So yeah, it was not the locker, it was just the wood being sized in, I don't know, in the Balkan way, so it didn't really fit. And it got kind of stuck against itself. Hello Alan, well, I got asked about embarrassing memories. I have to use the chance for self-therapy. Is there grip? There is. But that's not the best way to overtake traffic there. Yeah, he was kind of unhappy with me being on the left side there, I think. Why is there a GT3 at Blanchimont every lap? Can I keep it flat? No. Maybe I could. That's a nice one. I mean, if you watch Hartley's pictures from when he was much younger, I fully understand that. That second gear just introduces so much engine braking, but at least it eliminates the locking. Although rears are slightly worse than front, so I should keep third. I suppose there was better ways of me hitting the traffic. Feels like I should be doing 0-1s every lap. So David has overtaken White. The Delta is alright, you know. If I don't mess up the entries. Yeah, third gear is nice. Hey Racing One, thank you for the sub. So 1.8, okay, that's a good lap. David within half a tenth.
How do the tires feel?
Okay. Like high nines, high ones are possible every lap. Well, thank you, Ayus.
You saving or you're rather flat?
Rather flat, but saving a little bit.
Yeah, I did a 1.5, so I guess 1.9 high is possible.
Ah. Michi trolling me. So we will complete now 33 laps. Midpoint of the race would be 39 or 40. What a beautiful BMW GT3 right ahead. Can I stay flat? Actually, what am I complaining about? He was far enough. I think Michi will... What will Michi do actually? He can do either a full double stint or do full single stints. But it will require him 0 fuel saving. Vettel or Alonso? Poof. I don't know, kind of angry with both of them because at some point they prevented the Ferrari championship. Well, if I had to sign one of them in his prime, I would sign Alonso. Seemed more of an... well, he was fastest in all cars compared to his teammates. Arguably apart from Hamilton in 07, but well, that was a weird season. Where I kind of remember that season as if Hamilton was consistently getting very, very lucky with everything, with the conditions and so on. I would love some more front bite. Very awkward. Really not sure how to overtake multiple GTs through Pujon. Just need to slowly force yourself through and hope they cooperate. Never a good idea to chop across the traffic in the braking zone. Felt like I was far enough, but I wasn't. think twice. Wanted to send it around the outside, but it's just not grippy. I think in real life it's grippier than here. In RF2 always Fania chicane or just double corner around the outside was instant loss of grip and rear snap. You really need to have a big pace advantage to pull a move around there. So Michi boxes and he's 6 laps shorter. How much is 6 laps? That's like 10 seconds of fuel. Kind of makes sense, right? He was 10 seconds ahead, he was close behind before the pit stops, while he went a lap longer, so it's very tight. Amos Laurito out of the server. Probably Amos has been the biggest source of VMS viewership in the first, in first hour of the first race. Yeah, Michi full to stints makes sense. 21-21, right? Or 21-22. Cube control for Amos. I heard about that before. About quality of cube control. Maybe not being as high as, for example, Asher. Arda Erzan. Why is everybody losing the race here? Arda was... Well, let me survive first. Arda was on pole position, I think, in GT3. And that's gonna be interesting against Michi. Very interesting. I'm thinking of pitting slightly earlier now and having a slightly longer last stint. Although tires are not that bad and I'm on low fuel, so car is light. Thank you for the sub. So I think I should just keep going and then I have better pace in the end. Always good when GT3s have awareness, so they stick to the right side through Blanchimon, like before the Blanchimon corner. Just better for both classes. Hi Vilko. Well, I think if I was doing special events or weekly events, it would be Toyota. But this is like a season, like League 8 races, and my current opinion is that Toyota is potentially slightly slow. and I wanted to have as much fun as possible. How is that not a cut? Anyway, I wanted to have as much fun as possible, and I really enjoy BMW, so I just took it. And it's fast. Although we will see about BOP throughout the season. Mostly Ferrari versus Cadillac versus Porsche, and BMW and Lambo. Other hypercars probably not so much, but still it's a good test. The Delta is great. Yeah, I talked about dirty tires before. Went through the gravel now out of that corner, didn't lose anything. In real life it would be a big moment. So that's something that probably iRacing or even old AC had covered better than LMU. Then again, one thing is bumpy gravel or slightly slippy gravel, another thing is dirty tires. .8 laps. I'll do 2 more. Alpine is a tricky one. Upon release it was having some kind of a problem, I think, but then it was fixed. It was quietly fixed, I think. It's a weird car, it's quite different, the suspension is different. I think the anti-roll bars are just dampers or something like that, like on the real car in real life. So it has a lot of lean if you don't, or like, yeah, sorry, it has a lot of roll if you don't have very stiff suspension. I struggled with it a little bit at Le Mans when it was released. I didn't quite enjoy it, and a Spa as well, when I did a Spa fixed. But it would deserve another go from me, for sure. And then you see iRacing, and you see that grass in iRacing sometimes has more grip than the road. I was so, like, I was laughing at, so let's say on Facebook I sometimes check it, and then I get served iRacing main page, and they have good clips, like good shorts on there. And then there was like the biggest of saves at Nordschleife into that, I don't know what is that corner, the almost flat out almost flat out left into a 180 medium right. And the guy, I think it was Toyota GR86 or something, lost the rear when clipping the grass on the left over the bump, and he had the biggest of saves, and he was like sliding in a way that the front tires were on the road, the rear tires were on the grass, and when the rears went into the grass it didn't just spin off, but it actually gripped, so he actually saved the car with the rear in the grass. And I was like, what is this even about? Like, it's as if they were trying to showcase their own lack of realistic physics and just trying to have best show possible, which is, I mean, that's a fair model, but then you cannot say that you're going for the best physics. Well, why defend? Now I have David on my rear. What's the point? He just stayed on the left. Costed time to both of us. Anyway, it's the requested new mediums. David following. Wonder if he does a full pit stop now. Probably not, right? He will change only 2 tires. "47 seconds virtual energy." Because of 12 seconds tires, so okay, 35. It was 39 before. So I will have shorter pit stop, and he will have shorter pit stop. If he saves... If he only changes 2 tires and does a full serve, what will happen? Yeah, Lambo is good. Maybe it's not the best on the efficiency, but it's a very good car. A bit bumpy though, so it's like through ready lawn, let's say, it's very difficult. Sometimes it just snaps. So I'm going... David is not going yet. So he's doing a full serve. Ah, cold tires. So that's... Mario. No, that's... Ah, that's a guy who didn't box yet. Mario is behind. Ah, Mario will eat me alive. No. Okay. Okay, it's wide enough. But that's a tough one. Would be preferable to keep the position. Now I'm on cold tires, and I need to get through the Ferrari as soon as possible, and that's a tough situation. I will lose a bit of time to Michi and David. I think the tires are up to temp way too quickly. That Ferrari is fast on the straight. Ah, okay. In he goes. Caddy incident. I kind of forgot about which caddy incident it was, because the caddy had quite some incidents. About the strategy, I honestly have zero idea. It should be alright. I think with David we are on the very same strat now. Like new tires, full tank. Just that the Lambo is marginally worse on the economy. And then I went 36, 5 laps longer than Michi, so I think I'm virtually in the same space as Michi, but he will change the tires once more, or if he doesn't, I will have fresher tires in the battle for P1 or P2 or whatever it's gonna happen. There was a problem with the caddy on the straight, yes. I just don't picture it in my head exactly now. Would need to check the replay. Tires are bugged. Well, in what way? Ah, the softs you mean, in the overlay. In that case, yes. Ah, yeah, I see now the chat from before. Yeah, I don't know why is it doing it. I mean, I'm tempted to click on the secondary monitor, but if I do that, then sometimes it deactivates FFB. And sometimes when you reset FFB, the whole game crashes, at least RF2... Oh, track limit, okay. I take one. Sometimes when you reset FFB, the whole game crashes, or it disconnects the controller. I think it potentially is fixed in LMU, but I would not like to risk it. I did it already before once in the race. I have no clue what Tump and Grigolator are doing, strategy-wise. I think Grigolator is just doing 2 full stints and then 1.5 in the end. Hi Shark, hi Carlos. Or well, Carlos, you were talking before already. At some point I have to learn how to manage the chat better. I really want to respond to all messages, but it's a sweet problem to have, not to be able to fully follow all of them. So I don't think it's 47. I had 47 because it calculated like 12 for tires plus 35 for virtual energy, and then it's not saying when you're repeating how much each thing costs time-wise, but at what second it will stop doing what it says it's doing. So 47, it stops virtual energy at 47 for me. But I already had some in the tank. I think it's like around 40. If I only took the virtual energy. So I should be closing in on Michi now, but not sure how quick. And I see I have more virtual energy available than fuel, marginally, but might have to take 0.94. Because VE is good for an extra lap, but fuel-wise I need to save just a little bit. he will get both of them. And I will be stuck in the worst section. Not ideal. And the second is lost. Well, the joys of multiclass. The traffic is always better for others. So fuel use, I don't think it even shows the last lap fuel use. I just try to set the fuel ratio in a way that it's... What is this guy doing? I mean, it's kind of a king there, so you don't know if you should go around to the left or on the right, but... Felt like he started to squeeze me. So yeah, what I was trying to say is I always try to determine what's the fuel ratio that's needed, and then I just forget about it. Or if at some point of the race I see that I have slightly too little or too much of fuel, I just do +1 or +- click on the ratio, and then I just manage energy instead of fuel.
You think David had a fresh tire for last stint?
I think he's doing the same strategy as me. We box together.
So 20, 20, 20, whatever.
I think 20 to 16-ish.
Mm.
I think full push is like 4.25 liters for the BMW. And target for 22 laps is 4.22. So really just extremely marginal lifting required. Well, now that I lifted a little bit, my fuel ratio seemed to be spot on. And I'll get stuck in Orush again. Ah. Half a second lost. But both Tump ahead and David behind, they get them on the straight. It's every time like that. I cannot help myself. Okay, I got a bit more lucky at the start with the traffic. Still less lucky than the leader, but more than people behind. Why is target 22? Well, I mean... Target is 22 because it felt like I have to lift and hose too much for 23. David is gaining time so much. Second behind. almost. He was 3 behind. Just because of traffic, of course. And at this point, I don't understand the fuel calculation anymore. Why is it saying 15.5? Because I saved a little bit or what? Yeah, I said before that... Oops. I said before that 21 is full push, but... I mean 22 is kind of full push already. Like it's... I think it would be 21.7 if you had empty track and just pushed fully without any short shifting or lift and coasting. But with some traffic it goes much closer to 22, so then it's kind of trivial to make 22. And I'm changing deploy between 20 and 30 kilowatts. Finally gonna be some cars on a straight. Gaining on Michi quite a bit now. Well, he probably had the traffic that we got in the straight. "29 seconds, copy." So I think I need 68-ish, right? Well, about net position, it's a difficult question. I don't even know. I think at some point, I mean, I should kind of be first to some extent. Well, net I'm ahead of David, who is right behind me. And then, I think net, I'm surely ahead of Tump, that's ahead of me. At this point I'm ahead of Michi as well, because he's losing so much time. I guess I'm in a net lead. But in the end Michi will be on fresh tires. and could catch David and I, or David and me. And then it could be easy pass, or maybe not. Well, welcome to the game. It's a good game. It's a game that makes it hard to go to other racing sims, because it just feels so good. I don't know why Michi is saving a lot. It makes no sense, to be honest. He doesn't have to save. Just checking if there is some rain forecast, but it's not. If I could go back to the past, what would I do? You know what? Well, I would have bought Bitcoin. Thought about it 10 years ago, but I was like, well, I have 50 euros, or maybe 100 or 200. I don't know if I should buy random stuff that I see on the internet and have no research done on it, so I didn't buy it. And then even if I bought it, I would have sold it instantly after it got 2x. So, well, that's probably unexpected answer, right? So Michi has very unlucky traffic, or what? Actually, now thinking back, at some point I had the chance to join Team Redline. And I didn't take it. Maybe it would be doable. I had contract with other team already. And then I think for the past, maybe that's for the better. Had a lot more fun, a lot less stress, still good results. Still can live out of sim racing, so I don't think I would have done that differently. Other option would be in 2016 or 2017 to have switched to iRacing and become iRacing esports master. And then maybe I would not be top 5 or top 10 enough to earn a living. Who knows? Hard to say. Yeah, Kyle, I now understand. But unfortunately, 10 years ago I did not. I didn't know if the guy will go left or stay on the racing line. Now it would be really good to know what Tump ahead of me is doing strategy-wise. Because I might have to go quite risky here to overtake. Because David is very close. Well, Korne, that's a good question. Some years ago I was watching Michi. I have had no idea how he does it. And then I... Well, it just so happened that I had to start streaming. And I guess it's just experience. But I need to focus now. Let's see if we have enough top speed. That was the half move that one should never do. You saw how he downshifted or upshifted from 6th to 7th. Suddenly I started gaining a lot, but it was too late. And the better thing to do for me would be to lift and coast. Save the half a liter, well, 0.05 liter of fuel. Ish. And have slightly shorter pit stop. Now we both lost time. But he defended well.
$78 in total.
I believe so, yes. Not fully sure, but probably should be.
Yeah.
I think my issue is that I didn't take minimum downforce. Took some rear wing and well, you know what, through Redilon, through the uncompression at the top, with the rear wing 1 in the slipstream, it's not easy flat. Or maybe it is, but it's so easy to lose it. So it's not like easy overtake. Following into the gravel, the classic. How do I keep... oh, thank you, Mirko. How do I keep my hands and legs fresh? I guess it's just... well, being physically prepared, or just enough prepared. Having done so many races in the past, having driven sim racing without big brakes for so long that... well, I'm ready to do it. And then adrenaline helps, of course. Yeah, cannot make it flat. Probably I could have turned in a bit more, but I didn't trust the car. stiff or soft brake pedal? Depends on what you mean by that. You mean how squishy it is, or how big peak force it has? It turns out that it's kind of... Let me try to find a way through that traffic first and then find words, but going from potentiometer pedals, which have a hard stop at full input, to load cell pedals is slightly tricky because you never know when you reach the end of travel. And then in real life there is no end of travel. Because, well, the harder you push, the more it will break, right? Until it, well, locks up or breaks the brakes. But here you still have the max input, and you kind of have to use it to prevent it from, like, if it locks up at, I don't know, 95%, then you will put it to 94%. Like, you will put the brake pressure in the setup as high as possible, that you can still use, right? So if you go beyond that, it will not lock up. But you don't feel when that moment happens, so sometimes you just push like crazy, but in fact you're already on like 120%, so it's just the same, it doesn't matter what you do. So from that perspective I prefer a bit stiffer, so there is less chance of me going too hard into it. But more than being soft or stiff, or short or long travel, it's more important to feel a good progression. So that it's not so hard that you would have to press a lot to get any input. But that it like properly progresses from very squishy to extremely stiff. When is he pitting? I need him in. To be honest, I had Logitech DFGT for 6 years. I like those pedals. They were extremely soft, but they had noticeable progression in the spring. And I was able to drive it. I mean, I got used to that, but I was able to feel where I am. Two pits in 2 or 3 laps, well, hopefully. Where is my grip? How are my tires? Actually, I've been preserving the rears quite nicely. So Michi will box next lap. I wonder what happened with White and Grigoletto. Grigoletto was leading the race at the start. Yeah, I see what you mean about the fuel ratio, although that's a philosophical question. Is it better to have more energy or more fuel? If you have more fuel, then you can end the race without energy and get drive-through, like the stop and go or whatever the penalty is. Brilliant! Now we have David right on our rear. But then if you have enough energy and not enough fuel, then you just, well, effectively shortened your max distance that you can make on one tank. Yeah, less energy, shorter stop. Well. Hi, Pedro. FOV is good, right? 26. Exactly 26. And it max, the camera position is max height, and then just enough, actually I wanted to put it slightly more rear. So that the A pillar would be just slightly visible on the stream. But for some reason it isn't showing. My dream when I was growing up was to be the next Michael Schumacher. Or more realistically to be well, a very knowledgeable scientist doing physics in a laboratory somewhere in a very high-tech environment. Which was kind of a realistic goal of mine for, well, a long time. But then I was sim racing too much. Well, about the idol, I mentioned him already, Mr. Michael. If he won with the Ferrari, it was a good Sunday. If he lost, there we go. Finally. If he lost, it was a bad Sunday. When I was small kid. Michi in as well. But that's a relatively lucky positioning of the traffic now, right? I will not have to lift, but David will, potentially. FZK, it's in the settings somewhere. I don't know where exactly. But it's somewhere. And potentially you need to go to main menu to set it. Not sure if it's visible if you're on track or in garage. or in the JSON, but it's in the menu. I understand you, Ayus. I cheered for Vettel a lot when he was at Ferrari. But I did grow up in a Ferrari favored environment, so my first Vettel experience was when he denied Alonso a championship, so not only one but two. So I never fully liked him, but still a really good driver. Yeah, that was a bit too wide. I think I felt the marbles. Like, the marbles have a noticeable effect if they set them that, like, you can tone up or down the grip loss on the marbles off track in RF2 already. David boxes. Interesting. What happens now? Maybe he boxed with some fuel in the tank still. David went for two shorter stops, okay. The mirror. I went into the JSON with Notepad and edited the max back clip or something like that. So it only renders, I don't know, 300 meters in the mirror, and then it's popping in and out. So I understand your POV, but here I'm scrambling for every last frame per second. So I have to live with it, and honestly, I didn't even see it before. Probably because I'm used to doing it for half a decade. Jureta Poznan. Is he the GOAT? Well, he's ACC driver, right? And I'm not really the ACC benchmark, or I don't really know how ACC goes. But he was fast. Ah, so it's close between Tump and Michi, okay. Well then, I hope my fuel is fine. The overlay is reckoning that I need 64.
David must have taken tires.
Oh, that's weird. Why would... That makes no sense.
Can't see the exact gap, but I'm 10 behind and he's now
20 behind you. David had a problem.
Yeah, 16.
Thank you for the sub.
Will not get by Tump, I guess.
But yeah, it's 15 laps to go, so I will take 15. One more than my overlay suggests. No change, and hope for the best. Okay, well, last pit stop. How much did your entire setup cost? Oof. I think half of it or even more was sponsored, so it was not that bad, but oof. I don't know if it was new now. Wow, 10k, I don't know. But well, I could never sell it for 10k, obviously. The GPU was 1000 euros. Luckily sponsored. Anyway, out of the pits for the last time. And that is not Michi and Tump, but a lapped car and Neil, who has not yet boxed, I think. Yeah, about the ploy, I really need to set a warning when it goes under 20 and above 80. Now I just have above 80. Although, to be honest, again, I would need to test if it's really such a problem. It's supposedly a bit less efficient if you just fully empty the battery at some points on track, but I'm not convinced yet if that's really the case. But yeah, how did Neil come into P2? He has to box still, right? I think he has one more splash. Probably doing 22-22-22.
What were your ARBs? 5-3?
Yeah. So Neil will box in 2 laps. I hope.
My tires are super dead already.
You didn't change?
Nope.
Interesting.
And I'm at 56, 54. Burning 1.7, 1.5 a lap.
How did Mitchell lose 9 seconds then?
And Tom's gonna get me.
I know about Christmas truce, yes. For some reason YouTube is suggesting it to me every year. So I bet Grigolito boxes this lap, and then Neil boxes 1 lap after. And then I should be net P1.
Join the MFD. When available.
Me?
Yeah.
What page?
The tires.
I have engineers.
You have engineered them.
But then my worst tire is 65 at the moment.
Copy. I was talking temperature, but it's fine.
Ah.
Because I'm wondering if I'm overdriving.
Do you have all in the middle of 90s or what?
Yeah, between 92 and 98 over the lap.
Nice rear lockup. So Grigoletto didn't box. Well, they will box next lap then. Is 157 possible? Depends on the conditions. I think it should be possible. I mean, here this is not really fully in esports, right? I had a bit of BMW setup and knowledge from racing it in these special events for 3 months-ish, maybe 2 months. So I just loaded that. Quali practice was 5 laps. And if it was proper esports, we would be, well, spending thousands of laps. Maybe not 1,000, maybe 500. Some teams would be spending 1,000 laps. And then in perfect conditions for sure it would be possible. So they are not boxing. And at the same time I'm slightly unhappy with... wait. So this is Neil right ahead of me now. But they have to box both of them, right? And that lapped car ahead. Copy Alaric, yeah, for sure they must, because there is no way they would be ahead, but you can never know when it comes to strategies. Just surprised because Fabio went, I guess he went 22, maybe 22, 23, 23 for him even. Loss of grip. Yeah, the tires are not fresh. So in that case there is no point for me to go full push, full crazy for the move. Still no rain forecasted. I really wonder what they said in the server. In the briefing it said like between 0 and 20% chance for rain, which is by itself a weird one, because how can it be chance between one and another value? Unless they meant that they will decide on the race day if they want to put 5 or 7 or 17. So Grigoletto boxes. Carlos, that's a good question. For sure, if I push the tires more in these conditions, so 40 Celsius track temp-ish, it is like 40-ish, right? Yeah, 40.4 still. In these conditions, my mediums would be like Mitch's mediums are, so yeah, mid-90s. And mid-90s are already on the verge of starting to overheat, and then you just have more thermal degradation, even though thermal deck after the December update is quite low, but it's still there. You just have more temperature everywhere, so you are for sure having slower corners like Pujon where it starts to overheat a lot. Or even here when it's some consecutive corners on the limit. But if it was very cold track, you would have to push a lot to produce the tire temps. And the problem is that it turns out that currently you have to overpush like crazy, like you have to be really sideways and then you produce temperatures and then you are fast. So they have to tone down that ability to overpush and be faster without actually killing the delta. There goes Gilles into the pit lane and we take the lead. Well, I mean, this was kind of smooth sailing, or like will be till the end. I have better tires than Michi. David is... How did David lose that much time? He must have had a problem. Like we boxed at the same time. He could have gone to the end, but he lost 22 seconds, like that's not tire change. So weird. Unless he had that glitch or like, client-side issue where the client changes or like enables the brake change and then you lose a lot of time, but I think that's much longer change than 20 seconds. Although, well, can you change brake discs or like brake pads in 20 seconds? Probably not. Like thinking in real life how they have the system done. I want adjustable engine braking. It would fix some cars so much. Would for sure add some for this car. Jura finally went to... Ooh, well... That's scary. Oh, okay. That's gonna be a cut penalty on the entry for him, I think. Although, you don't get a penalty for cutting the entry line in LMU, right? You get a penalty for exit line, or like a cut. But not for entry. I wonder how the slow racing community will go from ACC to AC Evo. If they will, how slowly and when. So Tump in P3 doesn't seem to have significant pace advantage over Michi, so he's not scary for me either. David is fast, but not 2.5 per lap fast. Well, he did gain almost 2.5, but different reasons. He could catch Michi and Tump. But for us it's gonna be a smooth Sunday evening ride, hopefully. No need for any risk, unless I want to do a plan F for fastest lap, which is not really possible on worn tires, but you know, can still try and bin it. Well, I use it. There is very good chance of that, yeah. I don't see a way unless I do something very, very bad. Even with very unlucky traffic, I should be safely going till the end. But good that I have taken extra fuel, because the overlay was about to let me down. It wanted me to add 64, I added 68-ish. And I would be missing fuel if I took what the overlay was saying. Which is actually the first time it ever like fully lets me down. No grip at all. I think those marbles are quite powerful. Or maybe it's just green rubber. I don't want to dive, but I probably should, but I don't know. That was a awkward conversation with the traffic now. I think he didn't know what I want to do, I didn't know what he wanted to do, and we just stopped on track almost. Lost 3 seconds this lap, oh no. And will I get this to GT3s into bus stop? Well, if I get traffic like that every lap, then Michi will catch me. Well... it wasn't the best of the laps. That's just because I didn't want to dive at the GT3. If I dived, I would catch the next ones earlier and avoid the carnage. But you cannot know. Richard Burns rally, I don't know if I dare. I never did any rallying. I said in the past that I surely want to try once. But then the team is pressuring me hard to grind iRating, so if I have free time, I have to do that. Because in the end, I'm here because of esports. That will happen on LMU, on RF2, hopefully. Yeah, Nate, thank you for the invite. I will see how it goes. And iRating farming, well, once I did a stream when I put the title of the stream, I think it was can I gain 1000 iRating in a month? And then I gained 900 in a week, and then I lost 200 in one day. And after that we went fully into that...
Are you short on fuel?
No, I had the worst ever traffic in my life.
Copy,
I can do 6 more laps, I can do, should be fine.
Yeah, same here. I'm a bit scared of Darby at 7.5.
Yeah.
Like, you should be fine, but I need Tump as a safety barrier.
Yup. I really wonder what happened with David there at the stop. Anyway, what was I saying? Ah, the iRating. Yeah, we had to go fully into IMSA esports because we had that invite for one round. that went kind of horribly wrong. But the pace was fine in the long run. And then it was holidays, and then it was LMU big hype because of GT3s and Interlagos, and the viewers, or like the players, went ×4, and I just wanted to enjoy and stream it. But the iRating grind will continue, although not on stream most of the time. Hi Jesper, how am I saying it wrongly? What did I say at all? Did I say Rayleigh? Isn't it Rayleigh? Is it Rally? In Slovenia we say Rayleigh, and it's Rayleigh. Tom, you can download the logos in the release topic in the, I think it's Studio 397 forum, when the Tiny Pedal overlay is released, and buried deep into the chat somewhere there is a post with RF2 logos, and then I believe another post with LMU logos, and then you download those, and then you go through the Tiny Pedal settings and find, I think, vehicle brand editor or something like that. Page 32, alright. That's good info. I think I had to like load them twice to make them work, and for some cars I needed to manually adjust the names. Although I guess for the default content in LMU it should work straight. Ah yeah, I was adjusting them when I did that 1954 historic racing. Because there were Ferraris and stuff there as well, so... But there I had to be... well, fixing the names of the teams and the cars a bit more to make it show up. This turn 1 really feels like as if you really need to brake in a straight line, then turn in kind of harshly or abruptly, but not a lot. Like throw the front a little bit into the camber of the corner, not close to the curb, and then just fully V-shape the exit. Feels weird, doesn't feel completely correct. But that's how the tires are. Lacking a bit of grip in low speed, in my opinion. Well, like this kind of... Although, no, I don't think they are not lacking grip. It feels like just that the rears are a bit more grippy than the fronts always. And then you need to use the rears a bit more than the fronts to rotate. A livery editor. Well, I know that some livery makers already have a long list of requests for LMU liveries, but we are waiting patiently. Should be early 25, right? When we get the custom liveries, hopefully. And yeah, the game needs to be running, for sure. This has been such a weird race. I really expected quali to be more difficult. I didn't expect the pole at all, but it was super close. And then at the start of the race I didn't feel like I really have the pace of Fabio, who was leading, until he started doing a lot of mistakes. And then it was always there about exchanging lap times with others on different strategies, but in the end, well, feels like easy lead. Really confused where David has disappeared in the last pit stop. Also what happened with Fabio in P5 now. But I take it and hope that it's just not that BMW is OP at Spa. Although if it was, then more people would take it, right? And then cars like Porsche, they are really good when you don't need a lot of downforce. So at some tracks the Porsches will struggle. And then, I don't know, Cadillac is kind of like Corvette. The GT3 Corvette, really good in corners where you need a lot of rake to have a lot of front grip mid-corner. So it could be good in tracks where you need a lot of low speed rotation. Yeah, Alaric, I remember that when I did that race at Portimao months ago. Once the tires are a bit worn... Okay, he decided to go right, luckily. When the tires are worn on Caddy, you really need to brake so extremely early not to lock up. It feels so bad. But it's not that slow. It's still good. And it's been the most taken car for this series, so majority of people must have thought that it's a good car. Really wonder how it goes at Interlagos. Should be good there, the Caddy. I kind of forgot what is the exact format of this league. So there are 3 endurance races of 2 hours 40 and 5 sprint races. And those sprint races are, I don't know, is it 60 minutes or is it 50 or 40 even? Could be even 40. What tracks? So it's gonna be Interlagos and Sebring, and then at some point there is 2 hours 40 minutes of Le Mans, and then 4 more, but I don't know which ones. Have to check. Meanwhile, last lap. David will just about not make it to the podium, or maybe he will be able to make a last corner dive for P3. Road Atlanta would be beautiful indeed. We will be racing Road Atlanta in VEC. but that's RF2. Sprint is 1 hour race, okay. Yeah, 1 hour will be quite interesting strategically. Although these hypercars cannot really make it close to 1 hour. Wanted to make kind of a fast lap in the end to see how close to the PB the tires can go on empty tank. But these 3 GT3s, well, I'm not gonna risk anything. But well, that's been kind of short, 2 hours 40. It passed quickly. So thank you guys for chatting, for having fun with me as we take the win.
Yes!
Nice, Michi. P1, P2 for the BMW. David didn't make it into P3. I really wonder what happened with him.
There must have been like he lost 20 seconds.
Yeah,
He
it
must
was
have
not. It was
overfueled
not.
and changed
Yeah.
tires. Like
Yeah, maybe he took full tank, or yeah, brake change is much longer, right?
yeah. May need to say sorry to Callum. I cut him off.
Ah,
Like I wasn't really alongside going into Fagnes, but I kind of put the nose in and put out of it, and there was a gap, and then I went through. Did he keep the position though? Oh, he kept it. Yeah, I might be fine.
that was a very solid move from Fabio. And then I was in the toe on cold tires, and I was like, yeah, that's not the best time to keep it pinned, so I lifted. Michi would probably have a chance at a big dive here, but well, I have to be happy that he played the BMW team game, or well, Rafa team game, even though we are kind of teammates to some extent. Well, thank you guys for the GGs so much, and thank you for the chat again and for the likes and the new subs. Much appreciated.
Man, imagine if you prepared. Like seriously.
I mean, the base was fine, right? I mean, the setup was fine. It was not like we did no setup. We did some work, right?
But we had some work on the setup, but like in the first 30 minutes I was doing all like mistakes all over the place, and it like really took the second setup where I got into rhythm and then actually drove the car correct.
Ah, there we go. The move for the eventual lead.
Ah, that second place feels like a victory though.
Yeah. Well, thank you for not making a huge dive in lap 1 as well.
Yeah.
Into Lecombe.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then I was like, you were in the draft and it was smarter not to do it.
Yeah, it would be a risky move.
Yeah.
So, GT3 was won by Ferrari. Kieran in McLaren behind. What was the gap? Wait, what? Did Kieran box in the end? Huh? I have to scroll through this. Kieran ran out of fuel on back straight. Oh, poor man. So this is the last lap. Oh man. Poor man. No lift and coasting yet. Ah, the server is restarted. Ah, like that. Ah, he even cut through. At least he made it over the finish line. Ay, ay, ay. Well, that's unlucky for him. David, what did you do? Oh, he didn't. Wait, what? Isn't the finish line here? I think it's this line. This is the finish line, right? The lap. No, what? Is it this one? I don't know where the timing is. I thought it's here. He hasn't finished. Because they lapped all others or what? Yeah, I see he hasn't finished yet, but I don't know. Do we now get the results somewhere? I never done a race outside of the system, online system. Well, DNF for him, but he was still P2. Event history. It's not gonna be here, right? It's not any of this. You do in your profile. But where? Stats. I don't know, where do I see? Michi, are you able to see the results somewhere?
No, I don't think so. Like in the XML file, maybe. I was only like having the last screen on.
Okay. It makes sense that it's not here because this is through race control, right? But the event was not a special event, it was like a league race, so... Alright, James. Well, anyway, I think it's time for me to go for a proper late dinner and some nice drink and then have a good rest and see what happens next week. Well, what more can I say? What a race. In the end, it was so easy. I really didn't expect. Anyway, thank you guys again for being here. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.